Hi everyone, Marilyn Aloria here, and I'm going to be continuing on the channeling track. I have been dying to do this video, no pun intended. What we're going to be talking about today is our deceased loved ones in spirit. And you know what? They have a lot of fun with us, so have fun with them too. You all know my black cat Mystic, so he's going to be in this video until he decides to jump off the chair. The reason why I really want to talk about your deceased loved ones is because there's a lot of information out there, and some of it, for me, is old. Now, you get to choose as the viewer what works for you and what doesn't work for you. I, as the teacher, get to introduce you to new subjects, new topics, new ways of thinking, new ways of being. And then you can say, I agree with this and I don't agree with that. That's up to you. Okay. My friend Sue Kovacs Klein, the term she said was 21st century mediums. And I loved it when she said it because that's how I feel. I feel that way we identify with mediums, the way we define mediums, is shifting and changing so much. So I'm going to explain that in a second. But one thing I'm also going to say is you all have the capability to speak with your loved ones in spirit. Everybody has the ability and the gifts to do that. Just the willingness alone opens that door. So this video is probably going to be longer than my normal videos, and it's probably just going to be in parts, but I never know what's going to happen until they work through me to give it to you. So I'm just giving you that little introduction, so you may have to get a little popcorn, a little soda, and sit back and enjoy it. Okay, 21st century mediums, why we're different. We believe that, or I believe, that mediums is anybody who speaks to entities on the other side, entities in other dimensions, may not be the other side. There's many different dimensions. There's dimensional shifts. There's universal, other universes. There's spirits. There's angels. There's ascended masters. There's many different things that we can tap into. As a medium, I can communicate with them. I can see, hear, feel, sense, and know, and speak with them. Therefore, I'm a medium because I am getting information, I'm channeling information, and I'm delivering it to my audience or to the client, whoever I'm speaking to at the time. With that said, I believe that our deceased loved ones on the other side are shifting and changing at an accelerated speed. So when I'm sitting in a reading and a loved one comes in and I'm talking to the loved one, in the beginning you have to give evidence that they're in the room. I have to know how they died or certain things so that the person that's sitting there receiving the information can say, oh yes, that's definitely my father. We're going to use father for this video. That's definitely my father. And then I go into messages. My spirits on the other side have said to me, I really don't want to talk about what's going on over here. I'm fine. I'm doing great. They can't even imagine how great I'm doing. I want to talk about you and what you're doing in your life. So many times in my readings, the spirit, the father, the deceased one will come through and they'll want to talk about your life, moving your life along. Why are you still stuck? Get over this and get going. That's what they usually want to talk about. With that said, in time, as you continue to increase your communication with your father, they will shift in energy and they will shift in relationship with you. It is a relationship. Whether you're speaking to your guides, ascended masters, angels, grandmother, whoever it is, it's a relationship. Whether they're here in the physical plane, alive, or whether they're in the other plane, wherever they are, it's a relationship. So, I believe that we all have the capabilities to speak to our loved ones. And what I want to get into you is I want you to get the understanding that your father, you may be feeling your father around you. That may be the first thing that happens. You start feeling, you start opening up, you have this willingness to talk to them. That's all you need. You need the willingness. Then you need to stop doubting the messages, stop doubting the information, and you need to just trust. You need to just say, okay, I am willing to trust that my father's going to come through to me because we had such a great relationship. Let's just say that's the case. And I just know that he would come through to me. So start with feeling body sensations. If he wasn't able to speak at the end, you may start feeling like, I can't get something in my throat. This could mean many things, but for the purposes of this video, I'm going to keep it to that. You may start feeling a little congestion in your chest if he died from some type of heart failure. That may be your dad. You may smell him. You may start hearing things or hear a song that he loved. That's your dad making connection to you. As it progresses and as you continue to communicate with him, and there's a lot of techniques and tools that I teach in my classes about how to do this, and you can find books on this too. As it continues and you continue in communication with him, his energy is going to shift. Your energy is going to shift. You're no longer going to be the daughter that he knew on the earth plane. Because through this work with him, you grow, you expand, you get to know your soul more, you heal, it's just incredible work. And he is accelerating at such a speed of healing because they do things on the other side with so much more support than we can even imagine. So he's shifting, your relationship therefore shifts. So it may come to a point where he's no longer wants to be called father. He may want to go on a level with you that's peer to peer. He may want to work in co-creation with you here on the earth plane while you're helping him. So you have to allow that energy shift to happen, that relationship shift to happen. The way that you knew him as a father and looking up to him, he may no longer want to be looked up to. He may want to open your doors and your eyes to so many other things that you would not be able to experience if you still saw him as your father. So allow that to happen. Allow the relationship to grow. That is my introduction to speaking to your loved ones on the other side. There is going to be a lot more about this because, like I said, I'm a 21st century medium. Thank you, Sue, for giving me that term. I love it. And I teach differently. I teach in a way that allows you to expand and grow. That allows you, I'm not saying other people don't, please, there are an incredible amount of teachers out there, incredible. And we are all different people and different things speak to us at different times in our lives. But I'm talking about me and how I work. So I'm going to leave you with all of that because that was a lot of information. And do comment. Let me know what you think. Share this video if you feel like it's going to help somebody to just open up to communicate with their loved ones. Let me know what you want to learn. Visit my Facebook page and tell me what you want to learn. Join my website because I'm constantly teaching through that. Join my membership. Phenomenal place to be. That's where I do readings because, as you know, I'm moving out of one-on-one readings and I'm moving more into group work. Do whatever you need to do, but get this to me, that the way that you want to learn, what you want to know. I want to know what you want to learn, okay? So thank you so much for allowing me to come to your computer and your home, and I hope that you enjoyed this, and I really look forward to continuing our conversations in the future. Have an incredible day or evening, and say goodbye to Mystic. So after I did the video that you just watched, I'm now adding some stuff in because I did a Q&A call with the members in my membership program. And in one of the there was a Q&A call, and one of the women got a reading from me, and I spoke to her father and mother who are deceased. And the information that came through was all about how they support her work and support her work now. And we're giving her a lot of information on moving forward, giving her license to do the spiritual work that she wanted to do, to move forward, and that they support her in all of these areas. And that it's time to stop like living in a box. And when I shared that with her, she said to me, she believed it. And she said, you know, I always wanted them to be like that for me on the earth plane, but they couldn't be that way for me. And I was hoping that they would be like this for me in spirit. And the reason why I share all of this with you is because that's what I want you to change. Your belief system or your thinking that your dad is the same father he was when he was on the birth plane, or your mother was the same person she was. They change on the other side, and they recognize things that they may have done that weren't the best for you on this when they were your parents here on the earth plane, and they want to parent you in a different way from the other side. And then that relationship will continue to grow as to what I've discussed earlier in this video, where you could become a pure relationship, or they can become more guides, stronger guides for you if you like. So try to get out of the mind frame that that is who they are and that's who they're going to be for the rest of your life while you're here, and allow them to come through in a different way, in a more expressive, expansive, spiritual way. Okay, I leave you with that. Definitely give me comments because I want to know what you think about this. And I want to do more of these videos on this topic because I feel that it's extremely important. So have a blessed, beautiful evening, and I will see you next time. Thank you.